July 19th, 2020, Jerez, Spain. The heat is blistering, nearly 100 degrees on the asphalt. If you listen closely to the footage of that day, past the screaming 300 horsepower engines, you can hear a sickening crunch. It's the sound of a legacy fracturing in real time. Marc Márquez, the undisputed titan of MotoGP, the man who toyed with physics and made gravity his plaything, was suddenly human. He was chasing down the lead, riding with a terrifying aggression that made him look invincible. Then, turn 3 happened. The bike bucked like a wild animal, launching him into the air. He hit the gravel at 90 miles per hour, and then his own machine, a 350-pound missile of carbon fiber and steel, slammed into his right arm. He tried to stand. He couldn't. For 7 years, he had been the hero who saved the unsavable, but this time there was no miracle. The king lay broken in the dust, and as he was carried away, no one knew he was entering a 4-year tunnel of darkness that would have ended any other career.
To understand the weight of the fall, you have to remember who he was before that day. Between 2013 and 2019, Marc Márquez wasn't just winning, he was rewriting the laws of what was possible on 2 wheels. He was a force of nature. He would lean the bike so far over, 66 degrees, that his elbow, shoulder, and even his ribs would scrape the track. He was the ant, small but possessing a mental strength that intimidated every veteran on the grid. He won his first world title as a rookie at age 20. Then he won 5 more in 6 years. He had conditioned the world to believe he was made of something different than the rest of us. He would crash at 200 miles an hour in the morning, walk it off, and take pole position in the afternoon. We thought the show would last forever. We didn't realize that every time he defied death, he was drawing a line in the sand, and the tide was coming in.
The years following 2020 were a masterclass in human suffering. The first surgery failed because Marc tried to return to racing just 4 days later. He thought his willpower could fuse bone. It couldn't. The titanium plate in his arm snapped while he was opening a door at home. Then came the infections. The bone wouldn't heal. His right arm, the very tool he used to steer at 220 miles per hour, was eventually rotated 30 degrees the wrong way. He couldn't even eat a meal or brush his teeth without a jolt of agony. And then the ultimate nightmare, diplopia, double vision. After another massive crash, the nerves in his eyes failed. Imagine trying to navigate a racetrack when you see 2 horizons, 2 braking markers, and 2 bikes in front of you. He sat in his dark room in Cervera, trophies from his golden era lining the walls, unable to see them clearly. The doctors told him he might never ride again. The media said he was finished. The fans started looking for the next big thing. He was 30 years old, wealthy beyond imagination, and a legend. He had every reason to walk away. But Marc Márquez doesn't know how to quit.
In late 2022, Marc made a choice that defined his spirit. He underwent a 4th brutal surgery in America. They literally broke his arm again, rotated the bone, and bolted it back together. But even then, the bike he loved, the Honda, was no longer a winning machine. It was a dangerous, unpredictable beast that kept throwing him into the dirt. So he did the unthinkable. He walked away from the biggest contract in motorcycle history. He left the team that was his family for a decade. He gave up tens of millions of dollars to join a small private team called Gresini, riding a year-old Ducati. He put his ego in his pocket. He was willing to be a privateer just to prove to himself that he still had the fire. He wasn't racing for money anymore. He was racing for the ghost of the man he used to be.
That brings us to last season, 2025.
Wearing the factory red of Ducati, the world watched the greatest comeback in the history of the sport. It wasn't the easy dominance of his youth. This was a different Marc. He was calculated. He was patient. He used his mind power to outthink opponents who were 10 years younger and physically fresher. He fought through the pain of a body that had been through a dozen surgeries. And when he crossed the finish line to claim his 9th world championship, the world didn't just see a winner, they saw a survivor. He didn't celebrate with the arrogance of a king. He wept with the relief of a man who had climbed out of a grave he dug for himself.
Marc Márquez is a legend not because he never fell. He is a legend because he fell further, harder, and more publicly than anyone else, and he refused to stay down. He teaches us that your greatest weapon isn't your talent, your luck, or your tools. It is your mind. We all hit the gravel. We all have moments where our arm is broken and our vision is double. Life will try to tell you that your time is up. In those moments, remember the man who refused to fall. Accept the pain, endure the surgeries of life, and get back on the bike. Because the only way the story ends is if you stop riding. The race isn't over until you decide you're finished.